Hi and welcome to this video on drawing straight line graphs. I'd like to credit DominicPenny for putting this on the internet. To be able to draw a graph, we need to understand what is meant by gradient and the Y-intercept. Let's have a quick look at naming these graphs. In A, it's y equals 4, B, x equals 5, C, y equals -2, and the final one D, x equals -5. In order to draw a straight line graph, we need a set of axes to draw on, an equation, and some coordinates. Usually we're given a table and an equation, y equals x plus 2 in this case. From the table we put in the x values into our equation and get our y value. So when x is -3, we have -3 plus 2 is -1, that's y. When x is -2, we have y is -2 plus 2, which is 0, and so on. This generates the coordinates shown here in brackets. The first coordinate is the x coordinate, and the second coordinate is always the y coordinate. So we've got our x and y coordinates, then we plot them on our graphs. So on our graph, this vertical line is the y-axis and this horizontal line is the x-axis, and we plot our points x, y. So here we have here we have 3 and up 5, so this is this point plotted. This one -3, -1, so that's that point. Plot all the points and connect them together with a straight line. Here we have a set of equations for straight lines, and what we notice is that the x value is always 1, so we have 1x here, 1x here, and 1x here. So this means that the gradient of each line is the same. However, they differ in this value here, which is the plus c. Here it's +1, here it's +3, and here it's -2. So this is where the line crosses the y-axis. So in this case it's -2, so it crosses the y-axis, -2. But the gradient of each line is the same and they are parallel to each other. So the number at the end of the equation gives us the y-intercept on the graph, and the x value gives us the gradient m. These graphs are not parallel, they have different gradients. So you can notice that the x here is 1x, 2x, 3x, -x. Here the graphs are positive. Usually we refer to that as going uphill. So they're going from, so if we were here where the arrow is, and then we're going up. So we're going up. Starting here, we're going up. So these are 1, 2, 3 positive gradients. And here we're going downhill. So this black line is going downhill, and that's a negative gradient. The gradient is usually the number in front of x. Here's a question that you can do, so stop the video and just follow the directions. Here is a practice on finding the gradient and the Y-intercepts, so you can practice. The gradient is usually defined as the rise over the run. So if we have a gradient here, y equals 2x, we go up 2 and across 1, then up 2 and across 1. Then if we draw a line through our x's, that gives us a line with a gradient of 2. Here we're showing how we get a gradient of 3. So it's 3 up, 1 across. So rise over run. So rise is 3, run is 1. So it's expressed like a fraction. Here we have a negative gradient. So every time we go across 1, we go down 1. And that gives the line a negative gradient. So to get the gradient, we read the number in front of the x, and we can read it from the graph. Here's a practice question you can do. Stop the video and write the equation. Stop the video and write the equation. Stop the video, write the equation. Stop the video and sketch the following graphs. So here we're going to use a table, put the values of x into the equation. The values of x were given. Label the axes accordingly, so the horizontal is the x-axis, the vertical is the y-axis. Plot the points and draw the straight line. Here is a practice on drawing